lot of people look at it like, oh, you love what you do.
So therefore you shouldn't get paid.
Get ready, it's the new edition. Your favorite morning meditation. Hey, it's me, part in my success. I'm a hot mess. Part in my success. Part in my success. Part in my success. Part in my UPMS.
Caroline Pace, welcome to Pardon My Success.
Oh my god, this is so exciting. I love the little setup. This is so cute.
Oh my god, thank you. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. Welcome to the 4th season, everybody. This is very exciting. You are my first official interview that I'm doing for the 4th
my God,
season.
really? Oh my
yes,
God.
yes.
I'm
Very
honored.
exciting. No, thank you so much for being here. This is very exciting. We're so pumped because Caroline is a good friend of Dan Fite Jr. What an icon. But one of my first questions to you is, tell me your favorite memory of Dan from college.
Oh my god. This is great. This is a great question. I love Dan so much. You've probably heard this a million times over, but we wrote a script a few years, like in COVID together about a girl who stopped farting.
Yes. Wait, I didn't know that was what it was
Wait,
about.
really?
It's about a girl who can't stop farting.
Yeah, it's about a girl who can't stop farting, and it's called Skunk, and it's like a coming of age thing. Cause you know Dan, like
Yeah.
How do we explain Dan Fite Jr.? He is is an enigma.
He has done so many things, known so many people, and like any story that he'll tell you, it just like keeps getting crazier.
I've always like told people, I'm like, if there's anyone I really expect to like make it, it's Dan, because he's so good at talking the talk.
He is.
Like he can make anything sound like so legit.
Yeah.
He's like one of my favorite people. But oh god, yeah. It was like right at the beginning of COVID. It was my senior year of college. So I was trying to move to New York and then COVID hit. And obviously I could not move to New York. And so I was kind of like, I think I called him to like make him come to like a baby goat farm with me or something.
Yes.
Like I was like desperately trying to do something. Me and Dan are yappers.
Yes.
We are yappers through and through. And
Yep.
so we're talking for like hours on the phone. And he's like, yeah, I've always been like wanting to write some things. Like I'm looking back on some old projects of mine. And he usually writes like very Southern dramas.
Yes, he does. I was just in one. It was very
Yeah, oh,
Southern.
were you?
Yes, I was. His
Oh.
last short film. Very Southern drama. Woman dying.
I can't wait to see it.
I'm very excited.
I'm so excited now that I know that you're in it. And, but like he literally, it's like very Clint Eastwood, Matthew McConaughey type. Like that's usually what his style is. We were just like on the phone, and I had this idea for like a script about a girl who can't stop farting. I've had it for years, and I was like,
Yeah.
tell me more. And he was like, yeah, it's like stupid. And I was like, no, Dan, I love that. And
It's
then
amazing.
like the next day I like texted him and I was like, so that girl who can't stop farting.
Say more right now.
What else am I doing right now?
Yeah.
The world shut down.
Yeah.
We wrote a feature of it.
Okay.
We've gone here and there with like wanting to make like a trailer proof of concept for it versus like maybe also like going off like a little web series of like mini adventures.
Cute. Wait, I love that.
I think that'd be really fun. I mean, it's kind of been one of those projects that we return to every few months. Like even if we don't do rewrites, we will literally just be like, I think Violet, because all the characters are named after flowers.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, we'll be like, I think Violet and Camellia would go camping together. Like,
Yeah.
how do you think that would go if they went camping together? And then we talk about it like they're like our friends for like an hour. It's actually like
beautiful.
kind of psychotic. These aren't real people, and like we both get very protective over them, like as if they're real people. Like he'll text me and be like, "What if Violet smoked weed?" And I'm like, Violet wouldn't smoke weed until her junior year of college.
How dare you bring this up right now?
Violet is a late bloomer, Dan.
Come on.
She's 14 in the script. Basically, I was like, we should write this.
Yes.
And he was like, I don't know. And he was like, kind of told me what the ideas he had. He was like, but I don't know about this gap or this gap or this gap. And I just like immediately knew what the gaps were.
Yeah.
It was just like kind of like a super thing. And then like once we had that conversation, it was almost annoying because I at the time was still working at Starbucks. And I had to go into like work, and he would text me and be like, okay, I wrote like 20 pages today. And I had to be like, Dan, I need you to save this scene, this scene, this scene, and this scene for me to write, because they're the ones I'm excited to write, because you're kind of on a roll right now.
Yeah.
And like,
Give me a
save
second.
space, boy. And so like he literally like wrote like a majority of the script in like 3 days, and then like left like the scenes that were like really important to me to write for me.
Aww.
And then I wrote those, and then we like got together and we like combined them and like sent it around to our friends. And like to this day, I think if there's any project someone were to be like $2 million, make anything, I'd probably just call up Dan and be like, it's Skunk.
I
To
need
this
to
day,
find
like,
$2 million for you now.
Thank you.
Because
Yeah,
I
no,
want
I
Skunk to happen. I feel like people don't really talk about the actual writing process of something that, like, a feature, like, that's a huge, how many pages is that?
It's like 90.
Like, that's significant.
We've built like an entire world with it. We talk about these characters like they are our friends. There's facts with them. Like, I know they're figments of our imaginations, but like,
But they're real to you.
They're real to me. One of my favorite co-writers is Dan.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously.
Like, obviously.
Which is funny because I'm very like girly pop, like
yes,
silly kind of slapstick comedy. I want to build something that like people are really happy in.
Yeah. Going off of that, one thing Dan told me about that I said I need to know more about right now is the sock puppet film.
Oh my god! Yes. No, this has become like my two truths and a lie.
Oh yeah.
Almost. It's just like what follows me everywhere because I think it's just so funny. And I'm really proud of it. It's been like 5 years. I'm still so proud of this.
Yeah.
My friend Cooper, he took me in to work on his 48-hour film.
Oh my gosh, so fun.
And yeah, and thank God he did because I'm still best friends with like every person on that team.
I love that.
They start on like a Friday night, and at 7 o'clock they give you 2 genres to choose from, a line of dialogue you have to include, a character name, and a character like job description, and then also you have to have like a prop in there, so that way you have to meet these requirements, so you can't just like make something and then submit it and be like, we made this in 40 hours. But we got soap opera, and we were having this really long literal drawing board of like putting up ideas and stuff. Cooper was the one who had the idea for the plot of it, because the name we got was like Trevor Shintor. He was professor. The prop was a wallet. The line of dialogue was, too bad, better luck next time. We open up at this guy's funeral and his student is there, and Trevor's wife tries to seduce him, blah blah blah. She gets pregnant, they pull up guns, like it's like a whole thing. And we're all like, great, it's COVID. It's COVID. You just, like, that's our best idea, and there's 8 characters, and there's 6 of us, and 3 of us are probably okay-ish actors. So, and my friend James was like, sock puppets.
Oh my god.
I was there saying, like, sock puppets? Not a bad idea. And everybody was like, no, like, I don't know if we should do sock puppets. I was like, sock puppets. We just kept trying to come up with a different idea, but we couldn't come up with anything else. Like, we were like, that is our best idea of a script right now. And it just, like, kind of was like 3 a.m, and we had to decide something. And it was like, all right, guys, I have American Girl doll furniture in my attic. I have sewing supplies, like, let's do it. And so we, like, literally, like, set an alarm 9 a.m. I woke up, I got a bunch of socks. And so then Andy was, like, writing the script at night, like, at, like, literally from, like, 3 a.m. to, like, 7 a.m. We all slept, and then while Andy got, like, a nap in the morning, like, we all went to my friend James's house, and we started building these sock puppets. Because we're in Tennessee, like, James's family has, like, a barn, and a shed with like a bunch of excess wood. So we started like building like actual like little like sound stages, like mini sound stages for the sock puppets. So I like designed all the sock puppets. I made them. We like used like American Girl doll furniture. We like called up friends of ours that like had like nieces and nephews, and we're like, do you have any toys? And created this entire like film set with sock puppets. And I think to this day something looks really good. I helped to make like a coffin that I'm still so proud of, that I think looks really, really good.
I need you to send me this.
I will send it to you. And we made it, and like we won the 48-hour film festival in Nashville with it. Like, thank you. We won like 8 awards. Which,
that's crazy.
Yeah, and the thing with the 48-hour film festival is that you compete locally, you win nationally, you do like the international thing.
My brother did this.
Yes!
The 48-hour film festival.
We ended up being able to go to like the international division. And when you win the actual like panel, like best film, and then the Audience Choice Award, get to have like a slot in Cannes Film Festival. We were the like first runner-up for the audience choice.
You almost took a sock puppet film to Cannes.
No, that's my two truths and a lie. My dating profile, like for years, said award-winning sock puppet maker. I thought it was just like so funny because there was like 2 months of my life where we won like the national or whatever, and then we were like going to do the international one, and we were like, are we gonna go to France this year? Like, that was, like, a whole conversation that had to be had. I was also planning to move to New York. Like, oh my god, I really hope I get into Cannes, but also, like, I want to move to New York that time. Sock puppet movie, and I was like...
We didn't get to take the sock puppets to Cannes, but you did go to Sundance Film Festival this year. Say more.
Okay, I didn't go with, like, a movie I worked on or anything. I did go as an employee.
That's so cool. What were you doing?
So I was a box office agent, which was really fun. You kind of facilitate the sales, helping a lot of people with their badges and stuff. It was really fun because I've worked in production offices for a few years now, and you know, with the strikes and now, especially you out in LA, like I can imagine the fires are kind of making things a little
Everything's hard.
Yeah, the industry is kind of at a really weird standstill, and we're all kind of holding our breath.
Yes, we are.
And I feel personally like I still have so much excitement about it. Like, I still am like, movies, but I feel like I've gone on, like, sets and stuff, like, the few times that, like, I do go on, like, bigger, like, union jobs. A lot of the people are very jaded.
Yes.
And just like, I can't believe I got into this, like, get out while you can while you're still young. And I kind of, like, had, like, this thing last year where I was like, you know what? I bet festivals... they're really excited about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, and people work at festivals.
Yeah.
So I should see if I can work a really big festival.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good way to do something that doesn't terrify me.
Yeah. Doing like production for festivals, I feel like would be so fun. Like just putting that whole thing together. Like that's a huge task.
Yeah. And so I literally just started like texting people I knew and was like, hey, because I knew people who like worked at like certain festivals and stuff, and was like, hey, if anyone knows anything opening up, let me know. And I had a friend who worked at like South by, because I was like, hey girl, you got anything? And she was like, no.
Hey girl.
I was like, oh. I was like, okay, cool. And then, like, literally like a week later, she was like, hey, I think Sundance is hiring, here's the information. And I was like,
hell yeah,
great. And so I like applied for it, and oh my god, it was 2-3 week long job, and it's kind of hilarious because they like hardcore vetted me. Like they asked for references, and I gave them like 2 professional references and one that's like one of my friend James, who's like, I did that 48-hour film.
Yeah.
The one who advocated for the puppets.
For the puppets!
The puppets! Was like, hey, can you guys be my references? And they're like, sure. And then one day I texted James like, did they ever reach out to you? He was like, yeah, I need to like set aside time to like answer all the questions. And I was like, what are the questions? And it was like literally like a 20 question thing. They were like hard questions too. They were like, when has Caroline failed at her job and how did she handle it? Like, I was like actually kind of gagged by it. I was like, insane. Oh my god, that questionnaire like terrified me. Yeah. So there's like 2 weeks where I was like, I'm not getting this job. Like that.
Like, what do they even say? Like,
who do I think I am?
God, that's terrifying.
Yeah. But luckily I did end up getting it, and it was so much fun. I got to go out to Utah. They lodged me.
Sick.
Which was really fun. They put me in this really pretty townhouse with like 2 other girls.
That's so cute.
And so it was like a lot of fun.
That's so cute.
Yeah. Right next to the venue. I was supposed to work like one specific venue, but because of like just schedules and stuff, and the fact that I was like so like, I'll do anything. I was like, I'm at Sundance. Like,
yeah, literally.
Wolves.
Put me anywhere. Yeah.
Anytime anyone else there would like complain about something, I'd be like, guys, do you know that we're at Sundance? Like,
we're literally at Sundance right now.
We're getting paid to be at Sundance. Like, I was like filling out a time card, like, I can't believe this.
Wait, I love that. Yeah. Romanticize your life more, everybody, as you should.
No, I literally told myself, like, this year I'm being more delusional.
Delulu! It's the year of delusions. Yes.
It's the year of Delulu.
Being Delulu.
Just walking into a party and being like, no, actually, I belong here. You know when people are like, oh my god, the universe is so big, we're all little specks. Like, it's so scary. I'm like, that is the best thing you could have ever told me.
Good.
I don't give a Like
I am an
I'm
ant.
like, when I was at Sundance, I'd like walk into a party because there was like so many parties going on. Utah has a lot of really strict alcohol rules and stuff, and like not a lot of bars that are openly. And so some of the parties would be what was basically like a heated tent outside of a Walgreens. It would be like the IndieWire party, and you'd be like,
like, is this allowed?
It's like really fun and nice, and it looks great, but you do like show up at the address like. Am I being?
No, is it? Am I getting murdered in there? No, that makes sense. What would you say are like your specific mediums that like you really love to work within?
Ooh, okay, good question. I really love working in film, clearly. I love doing like short films, and I'm actually in development for a web series.
That's fun. Wait, so what part? Writing, obviously, but like the whole thing. Like, what is your bread and butter?
Ooh, good question. I love writing. Like that is like my end all be all. What I want to be is be a showrunner one day.
Yes.
I love characters. I love taking them apart. I find them fascinating. Like they're like, you know, when you're a kid and you're pulling up rocks and you're looking at little bugs.
Yeah.
Me with characters and like people's brains. I've recently decided that I like directing. I was very insecure about it. I think that's just the thing as being a woman. And also like I'm friends with like Dan. I don't know if you know like our friend Jacob too.
Yes.
Yeah, but when I see like Jacob direct something, I'm like, oh, I can't do that. Like, I'm just like, that was smart. I don't know. I could not come up with that one. I think like I, for a long time, was like, I like to write, and I'll give it to someone like Jacob to direct because he can do amazing things. It's incredible, like what his brain can do. And I've recently kind of gotten more in the realm of like directing things. I'm going to be directing a lot of the web series, which is exciting.
What's the web series about? What's happening?
So I've written it with my friend Leora, and she actually last year I had this like off-Broadway show that was a variety show with a bunch of women. It was so much fun. And Leora and I got to be really close doing that. She had this idea for a show for a while. And it was kind of very similar to Skunk, honestly, now that I'm saying it out loud. We were just talking, and she was like, oh, I've had this idea for something. And I'm like, girl, we're opening our off-Broadway show next week. You can't tell me this.
Can't do this.
Tell me a log line, and then we'll circle back later. And she's like, okay. It's about a girl who's like the final girl in like a slasher, and it's 5 years later, and she's having her like quarter life crisis in New York City as a temp. And she's like, was that my glory days? And I was like, so right now we are actually going to launch like a newsletter for information about it. Leora and I are kind of like very opposite of one another, and like I'm like very edgy, like blah blah blah, kind of in your face kind of like person it would appear, and then she's very like she's like a preschool teacher.
Aw, cute.
And she's like a stand-up comedian, and she dresses like Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Yes.
I don't know what I'm doing. Like right now, like I'm like a filmmaker and stuff, but I'm still like. I just got a job at like a wine bar.
Oh, cool.
That I'm really excited about because I've been doing a lot of freelance like film stuff, and I love it. But also like it's super unstable.
Freelance doesn't. I'm a freelancer.
Yeah, it kind of like
it sucks.
Really intense sometimes. I was like, I think I kind of want to like chill out a bit and focus on my own stuff. Yeah, and like kind of get some money and like not worry about it. I feel like right now the grind culture in the entertainment industry, we don't talk about it like realistically enough
at all.
I'm not gonna say who, but I've had a client before where like he was a very successful comedian, like opens for like the late night hosts and stuff. That's and cool. like constantly like at 30 Rock and stuff that. I'm there and like I like shot some of his like own like personal shows and stuff. And one time I had like give him a hard drive, and he was like, you can meet me at this gym in Manhattan to give me the hard drive. And I'm like, great. I go there and I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to like interrupt your workout. And he's like, oh, no, I work here. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, I have to pay the bills. And I was like, I would have thought you were making a lot of money. Yeah. And you're like, yeah, no, like if you had told me like 2 years ago, like, do you think like an off-Broadway director has to have like a side hustle? Yeah, the we do.
Everyone in the entertainment industry has a side gig, and it's because nobody values artists and creativity for the actual value of money that we deserve.
I think a lot of people look at it like, oh, you love what you do,
so therefore you shouldn't get paid. Because you would do it for free, you should.
Yeah,
even though I can't do what you do, and even though I want what you do, and even though we're making millions and billions of dollars off of you in this industry, you don't deserve any money.
Yeah, and that's why I'm so glad we're finally having the conversation with like Chapel Roan at the Grand.
We don't have health care.
Have you used the cast and crew health insurance? It's awful.
It's setting you up for failure.
Exactly. No, it's all a scam. It's all bad.
And it sucks away young artists' dreams because it doesn't support you. And so you end up having to be these jaded older people in the industry who are like, get out while you can. And it's like, hey, actually, what if we all banded together and decided that this wasn't working for us anymore?
Yeah. And it's like, I'm at this really annoying thing right now where like I worked for years in like television production offices where I was like an office PA, and then I moved to a production secretary at like HBO and Comedy Central and Hulu. And I got this like really awesome resume, and I was making like a steady income, but also like I was working like 60 to 70 hours a week minimum.
That's not sustainable.
Yeah. When the strikes happened, I also was like in a car accident, so I had to take some time off just to like heal.
Literally got in a car accident yesterday. I have to go pick up a rental car today. A man merged into me while I was just minding my own business yesterday.
Girl, after this interview, we should talk some more because I will give you all the information you need to know to like sue that man. I am
so much knowledge.
Fine. So I got you, girl. After my car accident and the strike, I just kind of had to like stop for a bit, and I was like, all right, you know what? I've made amazing connections. And I have all this industry experience now, and I really know a lot about how to make a movie and how to make a TV show happen from like working within the offices. I realized on some shows, like I'd be in the room with like the directors and the assistant directors, and they talk about the logistics of everything, and they'd be like, we need to figure out how to make this thing happen tomorrow, and like this, and this, and I'd realize like, wow, this is very similar to like what my friends and I were doing like with the 48-hour film festivals.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, like it is actually like the same thing. In a lot of ways, it's like, no, you're in over your head, but also like it's the same building blocks, same fundamentals.
Yes.
Yeah, same system in place.
And most people won't push themselves to that extent, you know what I mean?
Exactly. And it's like, I'm at this weird place now where I'm like, okay, I finally have like the credentials and the network and the people watching me to like make something and dedicate time to making my own things and doing my own creative endeavors. Luckily, that's all been really good so far, but also it's like, oh, I really want to do these endeavors, but I'm not making money off them yet.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I think a lot of people are like, so like you're making money off like the off-Broadway show and this and that, and I'm like, I mean, yeah, it depends on how many details we get. like
maybe
I can't like budget that into like how I'm paying my rent and stuff because
I'm not monetizing.
Yeah,
I don't have a profit. I'm not making any money doing this.
We're broke.
I am paying money actively every week to make this happen.
Yep.
I spend hours of my life putting this together for no other reason than it happening.
Yes. You just put it
than you watching it. I am not making jack.
It is literally like a balancing act of, okay, how do I take the opportunities I do have and the network I've created and the fans, I don't know, you've accumulated, like the audience you've been able to reach.
Yes.
And how do you like use that to go forward, but also like stay sane and like live
and grounded and like a normal person.
Yeah. And I don't know if you've noticed this, but after the strike, I feel like I was getting really frustrated with the amount of people I knew who were like against getting like a regular job. The strikes are over, but you know, the industry's still at a complete slowdown because of everything that's happened. And I still know a lot of people who are like, well, you know, like I haven't worked in 2 years, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, have you considered like becoming a barista just to like make ends meet? And it's like, they're like, no, because I was a filmmaker.
It's like, of course, we all hope and wish and dream and pray that it's something within the industry and like that we actually want to be doing. Yes. And like hope that it isn't selling out too much.
I also have met a girl who is a writer at SNL, and she said this publicly, so I'm okay with like saying
exposing her.
Exposing her. Yeah. But like her first like week working at SNL as a writer, she was still working as a receptionist at a dentist's office, and she wrote a sketch for Keke Palmer. And it was like her first sketch that like aired. The next morning she went into work and they were like playing like the rerun of her episode of SNL, and she was like, I'm literally at this dentist reception office like praying that like they actually like hire me full time right now. And like and she's like, this isn't how I expected this moment to happen for me. It's a very difficult thing to be in. Unfortunately, I'm obsessed with it, and like I can't leave.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I love it so much.
They know. They
Crazy?
know. A lot of people haven't found that thing maybe that they love so much that they can't stop doing.
There's this weird area of your career where you're kind of in this like plateau of like, okay, I've done step 1, step 2, step 3, and the goals are still like pretty far away, but they're there. Like I can see them. They're on
happening.
the horizon. And you kind of just have to like find the balancing act of like still pursuing that, but still like keeping yourself afloat and sane and finding some sort of stability.
So you can still be a functioning member of society?
When I was doing my off-Broadway show last year, each like separate part of the show had to be like separately rehearsed for a while because all of the girls, the cast, like have day jobs.
Yeah.
Like, and we have conflicting schedules.
Yeah.
And so a lot of it was done very like cut and paste it together. Like it was kind of like a scrapbook show in a really fun way. And like, I don't know how we managed to pull it off so many times. Like I'm actually like kind of like, you guys, like, I'm like, everybody who did that with me deserves the best life ever for like how they managed to pull that off, because I don't know how. Because some of them are teachers, some of them are like bartenders, some of them are in graduate school. Like you get in that community and you talk to people who are like Elphaba on Broadway, and they're like, yeah, I'm a bartender in the evenings.
Literally, and you're like, how is that possible?
I have a friend who literally was like, oh my god, Natalie from Severance is like my cycle instructor. And I was like, yeah, Natalie from Severance needs that coin.
Natalie from Severance is getting that bag.
And honestly, she's giving like such an amazing performance right now that I hope her career is like insane. I just have so many like younger like filmmakers who are just graduating reaching out to me like, oh my god, what's your advice, this and that? And I'm like, okay, like get PA jobs, work in the industry. Don't let it take over your entire life, because soon you're gonna like find out that you're like a production coordinator and you hate your 9 to 5 and like this and that. But also like keep making your own things.
Do your own stuff.
But don't just like stay in your hometown and make your own things in your backyard.
No.
Like get out and network.
Go somewhere. Go to where the people are.
Yeah, that's like why I was like, I want to work at Sundance.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I'm going to meet a crazy amount of people there. I want to learn more about festivals. I want to know how they work. I want to like make my own things and possibly get into festivals. I should like get in, like just get into the nitty-gritty. Personally, when I was a production secretary, I had a lot of office PAs who I would just kind of like sit them down and be like, all right, what do you want to do? Like, what is your end goal? I had this one PA, I adored her. And she told me like, well, I want to be a cinematographer. I don't want anything to do with the production office. And I was like, okay, well, if that's the case, whenever I talk to the camera department and I need to do a camera expendable order, I'm going to make sure that you are the person that facilitates this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to have you help me.
Yeah.
Like, get this with the camera department, so that way you can build a relationship with the camera department themselves and also the camera rental houses.
Yes.
And also, you're going to have such a great grip on, like, what it actually takes to build a camera kit.
And what you need and what you don't and what to rent and how much it should cost and what insurance looks like, and doing all of these processes so that when you're doing it yourself, you can. Like, learn what you can from every job you're in. I had a professor one time tell me, like, oh, if you go to LA, like, especially, like, it's actually really important you get a good gym membership, because that's where you meet people. Oh, yeah. And I was like, that's where you meet everybody. Okay. It's great. Get your gym memberships. Go to where you want to be in the world. We love you. Yes. Be artistic. Take advantage of every opportunity. Caroline, you are amazing. I love you. Thank you so much for coming on and for being such a lovely and helpful resource in these times. We're in the trenches. Literally, we're in the trenches. Get in here with us, all right? It's a good time. We're having fun. So much fun. I promise. Yes. It's so worth it. It is worth it. And we love you, and we will see you all next week. Thank you all so much. I love you. Bye-bye. Are you PMSing?